Hamilton, Missouri is a small town about 50 miles east of St. Joseph. It is mainly a farming area, most well known as the birthplace and boyhood home of J.C. Penney. Penney was an active Freemason who at one time owned the lodge building, but the Masons were well established in Hamilton before Penney was born. The Masonic Lodge there was founded in 1867 and was located in a small brick storefront building in the center of town. Several commercial establishments lined the street, including the usual drug and dry goods stores common in small towns in that era. A larger building adjoining Hamilton Lodge would, many years hence, be the home of the 500th J.C. Penney department store. At the time, though, townsfolk bought the kind of merchandise pennies would eventually sell either at the dry goods store or the general store, located down the street. Jacob Goldberg owned the general store and he lived on the floor above it with his wife. Sadly, never completely accepted in the town because of their Jewish heritage, the Goldbergs nevertheless made a good living and assimilated relatively well until the scandal forced them to leave town. Mrs. Goldberg, it seems, was the curious type. Many nights she saw the Masons enter the lodge for their meetings. She saw the lights upstairs and heard stories about secret and mysterious things happening inside. One night, as later reported by the Hamilton newspaper, she couldn't stand it anymore. She crafted a plan to observe the sinister goings-on in the Masonic meeting. The lodge, as was common for buildings in those days, had a trap door in the second-story flooring. On the night of the meeting, Mrs. Goldberg hid on the first floor. Once the meeting was underway, she tiptoed out of hiding and took the ladder used for climbing to the trap door and put it in place. She carefully climbed to the top and ever so slightly opened the door. Mrs. Goldberg stared in wonder and amazement as she watched the opening ceremony. She was, in fact, so enthralled by what she was seeing, she didn't notice the ladder beginning to slip just a bit. Then, suddenly, the ladder fell and crashed along with Mrs. Goldberg onto the floor below. Hearing the ruckus, and not to mention the screaming that followed, the Masons unceremoniously suspended their meeting. They ran downstairs to find Mrs. Goldberg and the ladder lying in a heap, and Mrs. Goldberg with a broken arm. Doc Tuttle set Mrs. Goldberg's arm. In time, broken bones heal, but the embarrassment and humiliation of Mrs. Goldberg's scandalous actions lived on. Shortly after her misguided spy mission, the Goldbergs left Hamilton and were never heard from again. For the Whence Came You podcast, this is Steve Harrison with the Masonic Minute.